Good morning guys, thanks for joining me. My hair's looking a bit mental, I don't know why. I have just washed it, but it's looking a bit bouffant, isn't it? This morning I am filming a house tour for you. I've been asked for an updated house tour several times recently, and I think it's about 3 years since I did the last one, maybe even a little longer. So I thought I'd do an updated one talking you through what we've done since we moved into the house and also what we're still planning to do. There's still quite a lot of work to be done. So yes, that's what this is. I just wanted to talk a little bit first about, don't know quite how to word it really. We live in a beautiful house. I never in my wildest dreams imagined that I would be able to live in a house with its own cinema room. And you know, dreams do come true, don't they? My slight disclaimer about this is I'm not filming this in any way to show off or try and shove down people's throats what a lovely house I live in. I have genuinely been asked for it several times. I love watching other people's house tours. It's just something that YouTubers do. If you are offended by it, please don't watch, please switch off, go and find something that you find more positive. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the background of this house. We moved here January 2014, at the 4th of January 2014 I think it was. So we've been here now about 4.5 years. Yeah, just 4.5 years almost exactly. It's gone really quickly actually. The house was previously owned by an elderly couple who had been here since the 80s and had extensively extended it. Extensively? Ha. Words that come out of your mouth and it all sounds wrong, you know. Yeah, they'd extended it a lot. They were very elderly and were wanting to move very quickly without the hassles of people coming round to view the house and all that sort of thing. My husband's an estate agent, for anyone who doesn't know, and his company was invited round to value the house. That's how we got to know about it being for sale. It did go onto the market briefly. They did a couple of viewings and the elderly couple decided that they couldn't cope with having viewings, and they found a bungalow that they wanted to move to and wanted to move very, very quickly. We were lucky enough to be mortgage free in our previous house, and we took the decision to move here without selling our other house. Our house was on the market. We put it on the market straight away as soon as we wanted to move, and it was a big financial gamble. We did sell it, but we had a period of time between our other house selling and buying this one that we were deeply enmeshed in large loans and mortgages. Very large, you know. It was quite a scary step. What I would also say is that although obviously we're incredibly lucky to live in such a beautiful house, we've worked bloody hard to get where we are today. We have given up stuff. I mean, when I first met Ashley, when I moved in with Ashley, he owned a 3-bedroom, or a mortgaged 3-bedroom terraced house. We couldn't afford a new sofa. We had, our friends had moved into a house around the corner. There was a sofa in their house that they didn't want, and or the previous owners had left, and we had it because we didn't have a sofa. So that was how little we could afford then. Yeah, we've worked bloody hard to get to where we are today. It has not been without sacrifice. When William came home from hospital after he was born, Ashley was away working in Ireland. Ashley wasn't here when he came. I came home by myself. My mother was with me. You know, I'm not looking for sympathy for that, but I'm saying that these are some of the financial things that we have dealt with in order to perhaps get to where we are today. For the first year of William's life, Ashley was working away. He was working 7-day weeks pretty much, and was away 3 weekends out of 4. It was hard, but it was a financial decision we took because the job that he was doing at the time, working away, was making us an awful lot of money, and it was economically only a small window of time likely to be that he would be able to make that sort of money. And you know, looking back now, it was absolutely the right decision, absolutely the right. We knew it was at the time, but it just felt harder at the time. But you know, I'm absolutely not pleading any sort of poor us type thing at all here, but I'm just kind of explaining that we do work hard for what we've got, and there are sacrifices that's the wrong word really. There are hard decisions that you have to take and accept the results in order to get to where you want to be in life. Anyway, without further ado, let's get on with the house tour. So at the moment, this door here is the main entrance to our house. This is not going to be a permanent thing because, as you see, it leads us into a utility room, which is kind of not what you want for a main entrance, but we've done some work to what was originally the entrance, and we will be rebuilding a whole new entrance onto the front of the house at some point. That is a job that's still on the list, but this, as I said, is a utility room. Got coat hanging space, little shelf there, tiled floor with mats on, and then I've got my washing machine and tumble dryer there. Good old Dyson washing machine, still going strong after, I think it's 20 years now. And then cupboards and a sink, and this area tends to end up as a bit of a catch-all. I've got a bag there waiting to go to the charity shop, some stuff that I need to deal with, that needs researching, eBay stock, various bits of stuff that needs cleaning, more eBay stock, tools, so washing waiting to go into the machine, the post has just arrived, so all sorts of bits and pieces end up here. Storage tubs, my shopping trolley where I've just come back from the car boot sale this morning and not unpacked it yet. So yeah, this is not really what you want the entrance of your house to look like, and obviously it is a temporary thing, and eventually this as it is will no longer exist. So then we go through this door into like a little lobby area with the staircase leading up from it. Let me just pop the light on so we can get a little bit more light on the subject. We got two doors here leading off there. There's a mirror sitting there, which is from our bedroom refurb, which is, I think it's cracked actually, so it's waiting to go into the skip outside. And that's where we've just come from. So yeah, just a little hallway, and that's the cinema room, which we'll go into in a minute. We'll start off with this room. This is just a downstairs loo. We have refurbished this since we moved in. Not particularly exciting, but quite pleased with how it turned out. It's nice and modern and fresh and clean now. Just retiled it, and really like these tiles we used on the wall with the mirror, and I really like this mirror. You can adjust the light. It's got like a touch light under here. Oh, there's me, hello. Got a little flower there, can't remember where that came from. It's fake flower. I think it might have been Sainsbury's actually, fairly recently. Ashley chose this sink. It's grown on me. I didn't love it to start with. And I've got candles and little marble things there. This basket's just got cleaning stuff and toilet rolls in, and a heated towel rail there. Toilet, marble countertop. So yeah, that room's all done. And coming out of here again, and next door, this is another room that we've done. When we moved in, this was known as the ironing room, and was just basically sort of a extended storage utility area in addition to the other one. It's now Ashley's wine room. Oh, it feels lovely and cool in here. It's triple insulated to keep everything at the right temperature. And Ashley did all this himself. Sort of industrial lighting up there. He's got the built-in shelves there. Oh, actually, let me put some other lights on. There's all sorts of lighting stuff goes on in here. Wine racks that he got them from Germany and built them all himself. You can get all sorts of different size bits. It's almost like a giant jigsaw puzzle. And more of that light. Then we've got spotlights in it. It's the smallest room with the most amount of lighting I've ever come across. But it was a real labour of love. He was very pleased with this when he finished it. As I say, he did all the work in here himself, tiled the floor as well. That unit was from a local shop, and that actually plugs in and lights up as well. We've only just recently bought this unit down here, so it's not plugged into the electric yet, but it does light up as well. So yeah, that is the wine room. Then on the other side of this little lobby is our cinema room. We built this, it was originally, well, I think when the house was first built, this was a garage. When we moved in, it was like an extra lounge study. It's a big area. We've completely changed it. This door frame was a single, I seem to remember. It's so hard to remember, isn't it? And we actually extended it, and we put those doors in, cinema doors. And this is what it looks like. Cinema screen at the end. It's a lovely big room. Got framed film pictures on the wall, and Ashley built like a step so we can have the tiered seating. The seating we already had. We've had these sofas for, oh, not the last house, the one before was where we first had these sofas. But they are really super comfortable. And we've got a little unit down there with popcorn machine and all the electronic gubbins for in here. We've got DVD, and we've also got an Amazon Fire Stick for streaming down here, and it all goes through the projector, which is up here in the ceiling, and it just comes down like that with a remote control. We decided to black out the windows because we've got huge big plate glass sliding doors across here to outside, and we had blackout. You can actually see through them. That's quite interesting because I can't pick that up from looking directly through the window, but obviously something in the camera lets you see through it. And the curtains are from Next. I really love the curtains, and I was really pleased with the colour scheme in here as well. I don't want to drop you down because I'll just give you a lot of eBay packaging stuff in here, hiding behind the sofas. The cushions are also from Next, and I've got various throws in here. In the winter it gets quite cold. We don't keep it heated all the time. Obviously it's got a separate central heating for this floor of the house that we can activate sort of separately, but obviously we don't keep it heated all the time. But yeah, I never thought I'd be lucky enough to live in a house with its own cinema room. And again, sorry, we're going out of focus, aren't we? I don't know why. Just try and give the camera something to focus on too. Ashley built, apart from the plastering, he did everything in this room himself, all the electrics, and we've actually got a sparkly star ceiling, but there's a problem with the electrics at the moment because of the length of the cables that had to run, and it's not working at the moment. And then we've got an LED blue light all the way around the little ridge bit up there, but that's also not working, so I can't show you that. Then in here we have our boiler room, which is not very exciting. It's like storage and boiler. My camera's not liking all this different light. So that's all the boiler and gubbins for the house, and then just lots of storage in here, various things. Nice big storage area. And then we come back out again to here. Got the electricity board there, and we've got this little desk and chair in here. This is from the house before last. We lived in a 16th century thatched cottage when William was born, and I bought this from an antique shop to go in a corner of a room there, and it was just absolutely perfect. But obviously the style just doesn't go with this house at all, so I think that will be on its way at some point, but at the moment it's just sitting there. So then we head on up the stairs. So we come up to the top of the stairs and we are into big open plan living space. Over here we have the dining room area, this big brown unit here, very useful for storage, but oh my goodness, so ugly and dated. It was here when we moved in. We will be getting rid of it eventually, but not quite yet. Just let me move my handbag off the table. Dining room table here, it does go bigger if we want it, although I can't remember the last time we made it bigger. It's also a snooker table. We bought it for our last house, but it fits in quite well here. I don't know why we've got the two cream chairs are meant to be at either end of the table. I don't know why they're like that. Well, looks a bit wrong like that, doesn't it? And then we've got doors out here to a balcony with beautiful views. That's barbecue there all covered up. And it's a really nice, good sized balcony. Excuse the laundry error thing there. I hang my washing out up here. Yeah, so we've got the balcony with doors, and then goes round into the lounge area. Sofas we bought new when we moved in, or about a year after we moved in. I have to say I don't love them. They were a bit of a mistake. Ashley hated them at the time, and I sort of forced him into buying them, and he really didn't like them, and he turned out to be right. They've gotten very squashed and haven't held their shape well. Fireplace obviously here when we moved in. The grate in the middle, which is black now, was brass. We sprayed that. We haven't done anything in here other than the bits that I will tell you, which is the spraying of that. The chandelier above the dining room table, which isn't really our cup of tea, was originally brass as well, so we took that apart and sprayed that black, which has made it a bit more gothic. We kind of like it. No, I don't love it, I wouldn't keep it, but it's a lot better than it was. And then the beams, which run all the way along this side of the ceiling, which are actually structural, so we couldn't take them out, which would have been my first choice. We painted, they were originally brown, very dark brown, so we painted them white just to sort of give more of an impression of height and make it look a bit less dated. They will have to stay, but we will be plastering the ceiling flat rather than all that horrible stipply Artex stuff. Over here we've got a big window looking out to a little courtyardy area. That was originally a sliding door. We've had that replaced because it was metal framed. We've had several windows replaced. And then somebody asked me about this painting the other day. It's Piccadilly Circus. It's an original oil, I think. Yes, oil. By an artist called Henderson Sis, who is Brazilian. And then we've got this interesting little, I like the little shelves down here. And sort of a glass shelf with some of that gold stuff that we had in our dressing room before. They were very fond of the gold sort of ceiling panels with lights underneath them, but they do look very dated now, very 70s. The picture above the fireplace, I know somebody's going to ask me about that, is again an original. It's by an artist called Rebecca Lardner. I don't know if it's somewhere specific, but a lot of her paintings are influenced by Cornwall. I really like that one. It's one of my favourites. Back across here, the staircase. There's lots of things in this house that were made to look like things on ships. That we've got the what's it called? What am I trying to say? Skylight above it as well, which has like a dome. I won't blind you, but the sun's coming straight down through it, so I won't blind you. But yeah, it's meant to be like a ship staircase. I think this was originally a brass rail, not when we moved in, but it is brass underneath, and it has been painted over. This painting here is by a Scottish artist called Duncan McGregor. Love the colours. All the paintings we actually bought for our previous house, but they fit in so well in this house, which is great. Another one there, which is by an artist called Sarah Blakey. I don't think she was particularly successful. I haven't seen anything else of hers since, and I don't like that one. That was one that Ashley chose. All the perspectives are weird on that one for me. Right, so that brings us back round to here, and from here we've got the kitchen. The blind is slightly down because the sun comes in, so I didn't want to blind everybody. The kitchen is exactly as it was when we moved in. Green units, loads and loads of cupboard space. Nice view out of the window. We've got bird feeders out there. There's a little patio area. Which you can't see obviously, so yeah, the cupboards just go all the way around here. And the kitchen is not as we want it to be in terms of the rest of the house. The kitchen is actually quite small by today's standards. So we have plans for the kitchen. When we do the kitchen, we are going to knock through here in this corner and make a door straight to outside, because at the moment we have to take all the rubbish bins all the way across here and down the stairs, across the carpet is hopeless. And then we're going to extend this wall out, this kitchen wall out, as far as the corner here, with the same sort of opening that we've got to the kitchen, but that will just give us an extra 6 feet on the kitchen, so we'll be able to have a table in there if we want to, just to make it bigger. We might have an island rather than a table, but that's the plan, to knock through a door there and extend it out into this room, which won't really make a lot of difference to this room because it's so big. Right, coming over here, this is just a storage cupboard, and we have another door here through to, this was originally the main entrance to the house. We have altered it. It's now a spare bedroom. So let me take you straight through to here. This was originally the front door, and this whole big room was, we've changed the front door obviously for patio doors, and this whole big room, the reason there's a bedside table out there is because it's broken and it's waiting to go in the skip. Yeah, that's why it's there. It just hasn't made its way down the steps yet. And yeah, when this was the hall, it had all sort of Victorian cornicing in and everything. I have done a tour of this room. If I can find it, I will link it. Actually, I don't think I did do a specific tour. I think it was in a vlog, so I probably won't be able to link it. But yeah, the ceiling's very high in here. It's very Victorian cornicing and stuff, and it was a whole hallway, and we just felt it lent itself. Because the house is so big and only had 3 bedrooms, not that there's anything wrong with a 3-bedroom house, it just felt a bit unbalanced, and we felt like it needed a 4th one. So we decided to use what was effectively dead space and turn it into a 4th bedroom. I'm really pleased with how this room turned out. It's one of my favourite rooms in the house, next to my bedroom, I think. I love the colours we chose. It was problematic with the ceiling being so high, so we got this huge light from a company called Universal Lighting online. It wasn't cheap, but it was so worth it to sort of give the room more of a cosy feel. It really needed something. And then painting the ceiling a slightly darker colour. I don't know if you can see the contrast there. The ceiling part is slightly darker colour than the walls, which also helped bring the height of the room down a little bit. Bedside tables are from eBay. Bedside lights, the tripody lights, are from Next. The big mirror there is from, I think it was Wayfair or Maison du Monde, and the little dressing table is from Next. I'm pretty sure the stool there was from eBay as well. Then this was originally just a cloakroom with a rather ugly cupboard in it. We have changed will do, into an ensuite bathroom with a big walk-in shower. Like a rainforest shower there. It's so difficult to film bathrooms. There's me, hello. We kept the original loo and basin in here because there was nothing wrong with those. They were fine, really good quality. And I love the wavy tiles there from Porcelanosa. We just got those on the one wall and then flat tiles on all the other walls. We put in a heated towel rail as well. The little fake plant is from John Lewis. That's from the range, and that's from the range as well. And my pomegranate reed diffuser, which is very empty, is from Aldi. I'll just quickly show you out here onto the little patio area. So that's the steps down to the drive, and then we've got a little patio area out here with a hot tub, and then another patio area up there. Again, that's one of the things that this looks like ship's railings, and it's got that sort of look of a ship deck as well that the previous owners did. Right, we're now back at the foot of the stairs, back in the lounge. There's the stairs going up, and I'm going to take you up here. I'm going to have a quick whiz round my bedroom. I've shown you this recently because we refurbished this recently, so I won't linger too long. But there is my dressing room, loads and loads of lovely wardrobes, goes all the way down there. We've had the wardrobes resprayed. They were dark brown originally, and we had a full ceiling in here with those horrible gold panels on. So I'm really pleased with it. It's all light and airy. I need to reorganise this shelf up here. But yeah, really pleased with this room, how it's gone. Excuse the mess. I'm sort of in the middle for packing for going on holiday. So this shelf is a new addition. That's from IKEA. Wallpaper. World of Wallpaper, I think it was from. And I've got my bed there. The hanging lights, which are my favourite thing in the world. I absolutely love those. Settee, which I've talked about before. Bed, loads of units, new radiator, more cupboards. And yeah, really pleased with this room. It's so light and fresh, and it's just pure brilliant white on the walls, which I wanted. Just so fresh and nice. Now through to our bathroom. We haven't touched this room since we've been in here. We should have really done it at the same time as doing the bedroom, but we didn't have enough money, to be perfectly honest. So it's big, it's a really good size. It's exactly as it was when we moved in, apart from we took the bath panel out. We had a problem with a leak under the floor, complicated by the fact we've got underfloor heating under here as well. So yeah, the bath panel came off and it's just never gone back on. It's been like that for years. I don't even notice it anymore. But yes, this room will need doing eventually. It's a fantastic size and it's going to be quite expensive to do. But yeah, this is exactly as it looked when we moved in. And it's going to be an expensive one, but worth it. Right, coming back out of here. Oh, that's the view from my bedroom. That's down into my office, which... Oh, I didn't take you into the office, did I? Need to do that. So coming back out here. We then have another spare bedroom in here. Again with patio doors out to a little patio. My builder's out there. We're having some of the garden landscaped. So, and this was the first room we did when we moved in. It's purples. It actually needs doing again. This room is used a lot as a sort of thoroughfare to go through, because my stock room is out the back. But I will show you that after we've done this area of the house. So yeah, this is just it's sort of semi-done, but could do with doing again the built-in fit. We'll come back to that. This is a little room that has the loft space in up there and some built-in cupboards. This is actually an eBay stock room. Built-in cupboards there, hot water tank and so on. Just a little storage room really. Ashley eventually wants to make this into yet another bathroom. Can't think of anything worse. I'm dreading going in here because this is William's bathroom. We have recently done it and it's probably very untidy. Oh yes, so it is. This one we did at the beginning of this year. Big walk-in shower. We kept the shower from before, just lowered the shower tray, which then caused problems with the water draining away, and that all had to be dealt with. Building work is so problematic, isn't it? I really like these glass tiles. I don't know if you can get an idea of the sort of sparkliness of them. We've got a few panels of those in here, one in the shower and then another one there. Then I really like this wavy sink. It's like a double sink, all in one unit with a wave effect in it, and more fake plants from John Lewis there. This towel rail was originally here, it was gold, and we sent it away to have it re-chromed, which wasn't cheap, but it was probably cheaper than buying a new one and moving all the what are they called, connections and everything. So plumbing wise it was much better to do that, and it actually looks fine. No problem. I'm very happy with it. Now it's not gold anymore. I like this little floating unit as well. That's really nice. And can I just quickly film your room? Oh, he's not here. It's William's room. Disclaimer, teenager lives here. He's got a lovely big light airy room here. which is very, very, very untidy, almost incessantly, until I really lose my temper and shout at him. The furniture was from our old house. It was from a local furniture shop, the Oak Wardrobe and Drawers. This is an IKEA Kallax unit. Bedside table was from eBay. The desk is on its last legs. I can't remember where that came from. His great big television, he won. We went to the gadget show at Birmingham NEC. I took him about 4 or 5 years ago, and he won a great big prize, gadget show prize, with the television and an Xbox and loads of electronic stuff, which was very exciting. And that is William's view from his window out onto the little deck that I was talking about with the like ship's railings. So I've just brought you back down to the lounge because I forgot to show you my office. Again, disclaimer, it's very untidy. I'm in the middle of listing and stuff and getting ready to go away on holiday, so very untidy. So we walk down here, little corridor, and this goes round to my office, which you've seen before, I think. My desk used to face the wall that way, but I've changed it to the beginning of this year, and I really like facing outwards now. Little filing cabinet in there, and lots of general stock and mess and all sorts of stuff. I do have a really lovely view, and I have a door to outside with a little seating area, which is nice. Gets very hot in here in the afternoon as the sun comes round this way. Oh, thank you, that's kind. He's made me a cup of coffee. What a good boy. And yeah, that is my office. I always have great plans to tidy up the office more, but never quite get there. And then this other way we've got a big storage cupboard that runs right under that part of the house, where I have more eBay storage. We don't have much of a loft in this house. In fact, we don't have any actual storage loft space, so that effectively serves as our loft. And then those steps go up and round to the back of the house. So that was my house tour. I do have another room out the back which I've filmed in on occasion. It's a big sort of conservatory room that I use purely for stock storage now. It's got a kitchen on at one end of it. I would have taken you out there today, but I need to film this today so I can get it edited because I'm going away and I want to get it up for you before I go away. And I've got the gardeners and the builders out there at the moment, and they are using it in order to cut bits of wood and stuff for the new fence. So, and now the postman's walking up the drive. I tell you what, it's all go, isn't it? Anyway, hope you enjoyed the house tour. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.